Hey guys, so as many of you know, I've recently put a steel shaft into my driver, and I thought I'd do a video because I've been asked a ton of questions about it. The most common one is why. The short answer for why is I prefer the feel. The longer answer is, when I was a junior, the best driver I ever owned was a Titleist 975D, and I had a Dynamic Gold S300 shaft, and I drove the ball great with that club. And I've never really been able to rekindle that kind of feel with the driver and really that ability to drive the ball that well. The lighter the shafts got as I got older, the harder I found the club to control. So watching or seeing on YouTube recently, Jimmy Walker putting a steel shaft back into his driver and three-wheel, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. Some things to remember if you're thinking about doing this is we do need to get the correct shaft size. So the steel shafts are 0.335, they're specific wood shafts. As I'm aware, only Dynamic Gold offer them, and you will have to source around the web to try to find them. They're not easy to come by. You can't just pick up a standard steel shaft, guys, and jam them in, because the adapter for your current driver, whether it be Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, are generally all around that 0.335, 0.350 at most. And most steel shafts in irons are 0.370 in a taper tip, and most of these will be generally tapered. So yeah, that's point number one. I thought I'd hit some shots for you guys. I've got the graphite shaft that I'd normally use and I have used to keep this, I suppose, as objective as possible. Same driver head, so TS3 8.5 degrees, setting A1. The shafts are actually the same length, so I use an Adilla Rogue that's 44 inches. And this steel shaft is also 44 inches. Really simple, guys. I'm just going to hit a bunch of shots. I'm not going to make you guys watch that, so I'll skip past this part. But I will be presenting the data for both. Golf balls will be the same, so it's Pro V1 X's is what we'll be using for capturing the data, and GC Quad will pick up. The numbers will be measured in yards. And yeah, I'll just present you guys with what information I get. And this isn't which is going to perform better is what I'll put in. Guys, I'm going to be using the steel shaft regardless, because again, I prefer the feel of it. I have hit a couple of swings since putting this in, not many, but I've hit a few, and yeah, it feels better. Am I losing distance was one of the questions. Well, we're going to find out. Will club speed slow down? We're going to find out. We'll launch, we'll spin change. We're definitely going to be able to capture all that information and present it to you. So guys, let's get into it. Okay, so first one, straight into the graphite and straight away cut right. So club speed was the same as with the steel shaft, and yep, the first one cut about 30 yards to the right hand side there. So other numbers remain very much the same, and smash factor being pretty much exactly the same there. So ball number one, dispersion not quite as good as we did have with the steel shaft. It's more than enough information for me to be able to see for myself that the graphite for me just doesn't work anywhere near as good as the steel shaft. So the first few swings with the exact same setting, exact same driver head, using similar golf balls, the spin rate goes up through the roof. The club speed doesn't really improve greatly, and the funny thing is that the faster that the club speed does get, the more wayward the shots seem to get, the more the miss strike seems to happen. So we're going to go back and put the steel shaft back in just to finish up with some of these shots, and we're going to see if the dispersion gets that bit better. Because again, ultimately guys, for me the main thing is if I'm driving the ball well, then generally I'm actually scoring pretty well. And for me to drive the ball well isn't about pounding 300-metre drives, it's about putting the ball in play, being able to use my driver as often as possible and then getting down the fairways better.